Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is David Novak. I just did a video in response to the movie Oppenheimer and forgot to show one book. I don't use any software beyond what YouTube provides, so I don't know how to splice a little snippet at the end where you come back and say, oh, I forgot one thing. I wish I could do that. So I'm just going to do something separate. This is the book I wanted to include. It talks about the race to get uranium out of Africa before anybody else, the Russians or whomever, did. It's an extraordinary and fascinating story. Well, these are just blurbs. That doesn't help you. At any rate, the movie did not go much into the story of the race for uranium. I think the lack of sufficient quantities of it played a role in the film. So, and I come to that book not just blindly. Susan Williams is a favorite author of mine. I read White Malice last year. It starts in Ghana and then goes on to talk about, well, the subtitle there will tell you the CIA, and you would be surprised if you were a writer in the 1960s and could not get published. Possibly it's because your message did not suit the CIA. They were behind so many publications. I think, what was it, the Paris Review? I think that one has been known about for a long time now, but she really lists a lot. She goes into details here. I'm a fan of her writing. I read this one probably also the year it came out. She really reinvigorated the idea that the plane carrying Hammarskjöld came down with intention. Who the perpetrators were is not yet determined. Somebody knows, probably. I think there was a movie recently made about this subject. The movie is not all that good, but this book is very good. And if more comes to be known, I hope she will revisit the subject. Now, last year, also on the instigation of Susan Williams, I read this, and this was a very good book. She spoke of it in an interview and spoke highly of it, and it's a good read. It really provides an insight into an aspect of colonialism that needs to be talked about more. Let me leave it at that. And I think she really is a big fan of Nkrumah. I, years ago, read this and still have it. It's a real tiny book. Got a lot of insight in there. I wonder if I could pick out. I haven't looked at this for a long time. Well, let's just read a paragraph from the introduction. Colonial existence under imperialist conditions necessitates a fierce and constant struggle for emancipation from the yoke of colonialism and exploitation. The aim of all colonial governments in Africa and elsewhere has been the struggle for raw materials. And not only this, but the colonies have become the dumping ground and colonial peoples the false recipients of manufactured goods of the imperialists and capitalists of Great Britain, France, Belgium, and other colonial powers who turn to the dependent territories which feed their industrial plants. This is colonialism in a nutshell. It's a book that I recommend, and I have another book of his that is on the docket, so to speak, which is his book about Congo. I have a good library of Congo books for an aborted theater project, some of which I've read, many of which I have not gotten to yet. We have a cat that zooms, and he just zoomed behind the camera there. I will leave it there. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel.